Well, it says we're live, so let's go with it. Welcome from the Crossroads of America, to talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page. And I have PayPal and all that good stuff in the info down below. So we got that out of the way. There we go. So let's see who was in the room first. Patriot in the Dark was here first. Then MK Joe. Then Jerry Parker, Southpaw, Tommy Gunn. So people are starting to creep in. You know, it's Saturday. It's summertime. I don't expect people to be around much. They should be out doing shit. You know. But anyway, let me introduce my panel. My first guy right at the moment is New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Enjoying the day. Trying to lay low. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
No problem. Then we got the one and only Jason Stewart.
Hi, Rick. Thanks for the invite. Glad you could do a show today.
Oh, yeah. So anybody's, yes, Wednesday, my technical issues was the Windows, Microsoft done an automatic update. And I thought that was the problem because things weren't working right. So I uninstalled it and got it all going. And it still wasn't working right. And I couldn't figure out why. Then I went down and looked in other updates. And I see it updated a driver of a program I have on here. And so I uninstalled it, and everything started working fine. So I got a feeling that was the issue. Well, I'm calling that the issue. Everything's working, so I'm leaving it now. Everything seems to be working fine. That was my issue on Wednesday. Okay, so Midnight Rain says, what are we bitching about today? Well, I got a lot to bitch about, but I don't know if I'm going to. But in my title there, I think I said it's scary times or scary out there, or whatever I said.
You've got mail.
And it is. I mean, when you've got we've been saying it for, at least a good year that conservatives are being censored on social media. The government is not even hiding it anymore. They come flat out and said it. You know, not only did they say it, they're helping them. You know, to me, those social media should not have 230 protection.
Absolutely not. They are, how can you say that? They're state run now.
Yeah.
That's state run media. So therefore, whether it's United States or Russia, whatever, that media channel is now pure propaganda.
Absolutely.
That's just how it is.
I mean, that's it. And it's that's what I'm saying. It's, they flat out, they don't care now that they're doing what they're doing. You know? So we're just I don't know. I said scary. It's scary. It really is scary that they're doing it. They're not hiding it. And nobody, because the left has the power right now. And they don't seem to care that they're doing anything wrong. Because right now, you can't change any laws to make it that, because they hold the votes. You know, any law that a Republican puts forward, it ain't going anywhere. You know, it definitely ain't going to pass the House. And if it does, the Senate will shut it down. You know, so it is. It's real scary. So who we got here? Who in hell just came in? Oh, well, he's not talking, so I guess he ain't a nobody. All right, he's clicked the mute button off, so we're listening.
There's 2 mutes.
How you doing, Patriot?
Pretty good. Is this coming through or not?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wanted to be doubled up because with the PC, with my mute button not working last time, now I got 2 buttons.
Yeah, you threw me off coming in under a different name.
What name is this?
That blind guy or something?
Token blind guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, that's me. Is there an image with it or no?
No, just has TB.
Yeah, you can't trust them gun tube guys.
I know. So anyway, I'm talking about how scary it is out there. The way the government is not even hiding their thing that they're in cahoots with social media. To
see how the whole thing is just part of their game. Just like when they announced that the other day, they didn't have to say anything about that. You know what I mean? That wasn't like breaking news and they're questioning them about it. They offered that information up to us because they were going to get exposed anyways in Trump's lawsuit. So their best play was to just say it, act like it's no big deal, act like they're doing the right thing about it. And, some people blinked an eye, but most people didn't. But yet, if that would have came out in Trump's lawsuit, it would have been bigger news. It would have been ammunition against them. You know what I mean? So they just went ahead and spilled the beans and just act like they're doing the right thing. Oh, well.
Yeah.
And then that attorney or the Surgeon General to come out and say all the things he said and the programs and the things they want to do. That's the real scary part.
No, I agree with you. I mean, and they're starting with misinformation, as they call it, on the now I'm going to say the word, on the COVID-19 and the vaccination, and learning how the COVID came from a lab. So they shut me down. But
that whole stuff about that they release that they're in cahoots and stuff. They did that on purpose, and the purpose, my opinion, which isn't much, but is because there's going to be a lot of people that throw up, hey, look, we told you, and then that's just one of those crazy guy things, so that when it does come out, they can already label you as, oh, that's just a conspiracy, that's garbage, and so that's pushing everybody to look at you as though that's just one more thing you're saying. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons they actually released it like that, like it was no big deal. Anybody that makes a big deal out of it is going to look like a nut job.
Yeah, but this is affecting your First Amendment. Well, it's affecting your First Amendment because the government's involved.
I'm shocked. People are still shocked that this is the case, in a sense.
Honestly, it's been
going away, for a long time. I mean, this is nothing new. Looking back at the Snowden stuff, the information that came out from that. I mean, there's stuff that's gone back so long, but the problem is society's weak, honestly, as a whole. In general, people know, but they still vote with their dollar and go pay to get spied on. They buy all this shit for their homes. They do everything. They want easy. They want cool. They want the life that's projected on the TV that you should have.
Yeah.
It's a new picket fence.
It's
your choice whether you want to soak up the bullshit or not. I mean, personally, you can't trust any of it, and you all should know that by now.
Yeah. The government is not your friend. Look what they did back in 1947 with Roswell. They shut that story down in a heartbeat. They they threw people, the government threw civilians in jail until they changed their story.
Well, one of the things I've mentioned, I probably haven't mentioned it, but I talk to myself a lot, so I probably mentioned it to myself. One of the things with that ATF comment period that was kind of enlightening is, going through the comments and seeing how people write. Most of the ones that you hear is, I think you guys should stop this. Just stop, right? Not demanding it, more asking them to stop. When you come across the one that says, hey, this is not what I want, you need to stop because they work for us. And it's how many people out there are actually like that understand that, we have to, do more than just ask nicely or pacify them or just let it slide. Or was that just a rambling that I should have kept to myself, talking in my head still?
Hey,
hi, Rob.
Cheap, man. It's action that does.
Why?
Not saying people should do, get crazy or anything, but that's the problem. People just talk, but then they just keep pushing more shit over on everybody. And then the courts don't want to hear nothing, this and that. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so what do you do?
People will do what you allow them to do. It's just like a bully. If you're never going to stand up for yourself, don't expect to be respected. It's just that simple.
Well, as a whole, what are we meant to do? How much turning the other cheek do we have to take before, as a whole, that we say enough is enough?
Well, I would say, first off, for anybody that's living in LA that has their mask mandate turned back on and is required, they can just take that and shove it. And if you do have a business, I mean, you got to weigh what you think is important. Where's your priorities? Is it just following by to get by? Or are you going to say, hey, yeah, if you come in here, I don't want that shit. Or, wear it if you want, but you don't have to. Dealing with fines or whatever you got to. There's people that haven't wore a mask a single time or throughout this whole garbage, right? Then you got some people that they say, hey, you don't have to, and they're still wearing this shit, and they're wearing goggles and rubber gloves and all sorts of stupid shit. So I would say, it depends. You got to weigh your own priorities. What's important to you? Most people are not going to stand up to lose their job and lose their house and their family or whatever. But, if you're single and you can do things more than the guy that's got 5 kids and, just scraping by and has to support everybody, your priorities might be a little more flexible. Not the priorities being flexible, but what you can do because of your priorities. Mm-hmm. I don't want that to sound like, bend your priorities, but you definitely have to look at it.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do if they say something is illegal? Yeah, it's illegal if whatever. Yeah. I think
shouldn't sell out your values for employment.
Yeah, never.
Pride, possibly. Sometimes you got to suck that up and do some nasty shit, but not your values or self-respect in the matter. And sometimes, that's easy to say, but I can tell you, I personally walked off jobs because I'm not going to jail for my boss. It's just that simple. I'm not kicking people's doors in and shit. But
okay,
that's another story. But
all right,
and that's money, so it's something you do. It's something you have to walk away from at times to make your life more difficult not to know. But it's all people's values, just like not wanting to shop at Walmart. I volunteer to pay more for my salad at other stores. It's my choice. It's a sacrifice I have to take. It's a hardship on me that I pay for, but I feel better doing it, or avoiding other stores, or dealing sometimes with smaller stores that cost more because I respect the people in their business. So that's all choices we make. But even falling to the schools and your kids, you can deal with just complaining, going in, trying to keep an eye on it, trying to join the school board, and the whole time things just keep progressing. Or you can take action and remove your child. do what you need to do.
What are you going to do? Because you're self-employed, right?
Yeah.
Right. What are you going to do if New York State, the governor, does an executive order saying, like, you as a self-employed person going around to people's houses, you have to be vaccinated and show that card to every customer you go to? Are you going to say, fuck my business, I ain't getting the shot? Or are you going to take the shot to keep your business going?
Honestly, I wouldn't take the shot. But I think there's enough customer base that would be fine with that, honestly. And to be truthful, I wouldn't even know about it till probably a week after I'd already been in people's homes anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really care what he has to say.
I said this last week. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they can get away with it. But, like, I am not, I mean, I haven't taken the vaccine. I'm, according to them, I'm prime example. I'm obese and diabetic, you know. But the only thing that would get me to do it is if they said, well, we're going to stop your Social Security until you take the vaccine.
Say, as of right now, they can't do that anyways because it's experimental. You cannot be coerced to taking something experimental by the government, supposedly.
Supposedly.
But what happens when it's approved?
Well, that's the thing. Just like, you know, the question asked of Rob there, you know, what would you do if you had to do it to, you know, to service, you know, people at their homes and that kind of thing? You know, that goes back to your priorities. Do I drop my money down where it makes it okay for, you know, 73% of the people out there that want to do it? You know, let me come in without one. You know, you got to see what's important to you. You know, I'm not getting it. I don't, you know, because I don't need it.
I mean, personally myself.
Because it's not even a vaccine any damn way.
Personally
they keep throwing it saying it's a vaccine. It's not a vaccine. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Well, personally myself, I think I have a certain amount of protection or whatever because I take hydrochloroquine. I have done for years for my arthritis. I mean, and there not only Trump, but there's other doctors have said yes, it can work and it can stay. You know, keep. It doesn't say I'm not going to get it, but it's a good buffer. You know, so other doctors have said it, but you don't hear them anymore because they've been shut down by the government as misinformation.
I'm just waiting for him to say this vaccine is going to cure, you know, keep you from climate change. It's going to save you from that. I'm waiting for that one to come on.
Well, then again, see, I mean,
it's the same thing.
I'm thinking, well, I mean, hey, if I catch it,
it's garbage.
If I catch it, I go to hospital, put on a ventilator, and I eventually die. That ain't, I mean, really, according to them, when Trump got elected back in 2016, when he won the election, they all claimed climate change. We've only got 12 years to go. Well, hell, it's only 8 now. You know what I'm saying? So we only got 8 years to go before the world's destroyed anyway. So what difference does it make?
It's funny that, you know, I don't know. It's, you guys might not get it, but in my feeds, the ladies' feeds that come through, like every other day, I'm seeing stuff where people are stopping the vaccinations, or people are completely against it, or even I think the CDC or one of the major NIH themselves said that the risks are high, and there's all this like,
the CDC.
You know, they were apparently pregnant women. I guess they stopped that, but there was issues. Now there's problems like some people stare. There seems to be like a shitload list of issues with it. Like the numbers seem pretty crazy. So I don't even know why you would want it. Like you're better off just rolling the dice with and see what happens any damn way is what it seems like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, not saying it's a problem for everybody, but you know, even where my daughter works, they do the shots there, There's people that have just dropped and passed the hell out. Now they're forced to like have you sit down. The baseball team gave her shit because they're not used to being told what to do. They're treated like kings or some shit. Hell, they didn't like her because I guess, it's not on her watch. But needless to say, you literally got to like force you to sit down and shit because so many people are getting dizzy, passing out as soon as they leave the freaking store. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't understand why, a little bit of common sense or search like on DuckDuckGo or something besides Google. There's a lot of shit out there that at least should make you think.
Yeah, but they're all going to be curbed because of what the government wants to do.
There's enough kids that have died because of the inflammation of the heart, all sorts of things under 23. So they can't. I mean, my local district. I'm being here in the wonderful world of Michigan. They're saying if you're not vaccinated, blah blah blah, you got to wear a mask in school next year. My school says no, you don't. On the bus because it's public transportation, maybe because that's something more than just a district. That's statewide or whatever, or national. Who knows? Same as an airplane or something. But yeah, I mean, if it got to the point where they're I don't know.
Yeah,
it's nonsense.
It is nonsense.
Distraction, just like everything else that they're throwing out.
We've let them get away with so much, and there's tons more we're going to let them get away with. But when it comes down to the shot, that's between me and my doctor, if I'm going to take a shot or not. And the doctor can want me to do it. He can't make me. He works for me too. Just like everybody in Washington is supposed to work for me. Ain't no law says I can't be charged with disobeying my doctor. Right. So if I don't want to take a shot, I'm not taking a shot. Don't try your door-to-door shit. I mean, forget about it. I mean, let's go back, 70 years or whatever. And, would you take a shot if the Gestapo was knocking on the door? Hell no, you wouldn't if you knew hindsight, So no, my government doesn't come to my door and threaten my freedom and then has a medical needle in their hands threatening my personal health. I'd take the whole thing as justified self-defense, man. I mean, it's enough that they're brainwashed you. There's enough that you're tricking in. There's enough that they try to punish you for not taking this shot. Don't come physically and try to force me into it, or we'll have problems.
Well, it's supposed to be between you and your doctor, but they could state, some cases maybe they're concerned with your mental decisions or something like that, blah, 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 because all their information is saying you're high risk, and now you're not capable of making good decisions.
They have a rough idea.
Who knows?
They know who you are because everybody who's had the vaccine, right, is being written down, right? So they got the name who's had it. All they got to do is match it up against whatever.
All I got to do is see if you were one of those dumbasses still wearing a mask. If you're still wearing a mask, that means you're vaccinated, right? I think that's how that goes.
No, but
if you got a mask on, that's the ones that are really.
No, but as the CDC chair said,
if you're vaccinated, why are you wearing the mask?
Because they told you to. Come on, it's the thing to do.
I listened to the CDC director for about 5 seconds. Then, goddamn, within a few hours, the goddamn president said the same exact damn line. The pandemic is with the unvaccinated. He got that from the CDC director.
Yep, and he let out the phrase today talking about people on Facebook that spread misinformation about COVID. You're killing people. You're killing people.
They're killing people.
So that term will stick, just like they came up with assault weapons and insurrection. That'll be their new phrase that they'll stick. So they're going to come back and say, everybody out there that's not vaccinated, you're a killer. You're killing people. You are an epidemic of non-vaccinated people, and there's their battle cry to come after us.
And the stupid thing is, the ones who have been vaccinated and they happen to catch it again, most of the time it's so mild they don't even know they've had it.
All right, I got a quick question for everyone. Now, do you think, just the quick overview of this whole bullshit, do you think this is just a distraction to keep our focus off of Taiwan, Hong Kong, Cuba, all the other things that are slipping? Do they think? You think that's a distraction that they're just trying to?
Oh yeah. I mean,
for all the college kids that just love Cuba,
I think China's going to walk right into Taiwan, and fucking this asshole, idiot, stupid son of a bitch we got, who claims he's the president of the United States, is fucking. He's going to do a fucking Chamberlain on it. He ain't going to do shit. Anybody knows, Germany walked into Poland.
Mm-hmm.
England didn't do shit in Great Britain.
I'd say it's definitely a distraction. I think 90% of what's put out on the TV or normal Facebook, whatever, is basically just that, a distraction in most cases. So, and unfortunately, people run with it because they got to have content for shows or this or that, and it just echoes around and around, and everybody gets distracted on the same bullshit. Yeah, a lot of times lately, that's why I've not been certain places or jumped out. I'm just tired of hearing the same shit. I mean, honestly, so everybody gets upset and wants to fight and argue over second, third, 20th hand information with propaganda in there. So it's kind of a waste of time, I think, for all of us. Sometimes you got time to kill. Sometimes you got better shit to do.
You're right. You're right. I mean, we've got off on a tangent talking about the vaccination. I was going scary. I mean, my thing is saying scary times. I'm talking about the whole picture right now of this country is scary to me.
It is, right?
The direction it's heading, or it's. I'm perceiving it that it's heading that direction.
Mm-hmm. It scares me. It's not the government. And it's not the big media. It's my fellow Americans. That's what scares me. Because if you want to divide us up 50-50, half approve of what's going on in Washington. And then the other half are just like we've been saying, people don't do shit. May talk about it, may do that, but we don't do shit.
Yeah.
We let them take the election. We didn't do shit. We just took it. What was we worried about? Distractions. Well, where's my check you said you was giving me? Where's my check? That's what's in the news. Not that Biden got sworn in on an illegitimate results. Oh, that's not news. Where's my check? Where's my check? And all the people that were there that didn't come home on January 6th, all held like international terrorists in solitary confinement with no court date in sight and everything. Those are our brothers and our sisters. Those are people that have the same views as us. Do we remember them every day? No, they just sit there and rot. Like I said, like political prisoners or something. We should be marching out front today demanding their release. Flat out.
Yeah.
And if they want to be terrorist tactics, that's what we need to do. I don't know. If I had a chance, I'd go grab old Chucky Schumer. All right, I'll make you a prisoner swap. You know what I mean? We're not standing up. We cry our voice trying to stand up for our rights, but we're not fighting for our rights and our liberty. And we're not fighting for someone else who's lost their rights and liberty. We're worried about the people in Cuba.
Yeah.
We're not worried about our fellow Americans who may have committed a crime, but bent a little bit of law, sitting in prison like that for trespassing. And we're not worrying about them at all. We're worried about Cubans in the streets.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is a total distraction. But here's another thing that gets me. We were talking about it. Was it last week, or did I listen to it on some other show? the anti-gunners, mothers against whatever they're called, and those Bloomberg organizations, right? Every week they put out a press release and they send it to every television station, every cable news, every newspaper, anything that, gives out information. They put it out there with their warped ideas about gun control, right? How come one of our organizations, like Gun Owners of America, or the coalition thing there, or the Second Amendment and stuff, those organizations, how come they're not putting out a newsletter, sending it to all the same places? Yes, it might get thrown in the trash, right? But hey, somebody might read it sometime. We need to fight the fight the same way they do. I mean, even when it comes to politics, our Republicans, the Democrats, no matter what, stick together. Whether they're right or wrong, they stick together. And we don't.
Yeah, and they stick together from Washington all the way to your local
your
office too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just not them and federal. The state guys are in line with it. The locals are in line with it, all the way down to the lowest man on the totem pole.
And
fortunately, people don't tend to act until they feel pressure. And unfortunately, a lot of people, I think, on our side are just comfortable with things, or content, I should state. They send a little money, they rabble a little bit, and that's basically it.
We want to be taken care of. We want somebody else to do it for us.
When there's enough pressure from tyranny, there will be more people coming out that'll be made to look horrible and things like that. I think it's going to have to get worse before action takes place, I think.
People are distracted because both sides are the same. There's not one on the Republican side that has any emotions to what the hell Rob does besides screw him. I got my little vacation. I can fly wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. They're all working against us. You may have a few hit or miss Tuesday, 9:00, whatever, but they're not as a group, any of them, for you. None of them. That's why when you get these local things coming up, that's where you got to get in there, because anybody that's been in there for 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, how about 47, right? They're not for you. They don't even live wherever they're from. They sit there in Washington or, whatever. It doesn't matter. They could be your neighbor and work there and still aren't out for you.
Well, you're absolutely
There's too
right.
many people that are distracted that think, oh, well, the Republicans.
And that is why I agree with you. And that was what Trump was trying to change. Republicans, Democrats, they were all against him because he was trying to break all that monopoly up of that deep state there. I mean, they don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their gravy train. I mean, I said this before. AOC, for instance, this is her third year up at Congress. She went there with student debt up to her eyeballs. She couldn't even afford the rent on an apartment until she got her first paycheck. Now she's worth a couple of $1 million. Something wrong with this picture. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing is, all these Republicans are jumping out now. This is what we're going to put. We're going to push this. We're going to push that. They don't do it when they can. It's the only thing. It's all optics for you poor sighted people to look at and to see them do stuff. Oh, look at them. They're fighting for the Hearing Protection Act. Yeah. It's like, no, you didn't do it when you could have. when you had the majority of everything. You guys were dicking around. That's when you get the guys that say, well, yeah, we could go this far, but no, we're not going to accept that. We want all of it, right? Where I'm not going to call anybody's names out, but you know, instead of just saying, hey, as long as we're moving that direction, let's just keep going. They're just like, nope, I'm not going to vote on that because it doesn't take every single thing away from Obamacare. Right? You know, there was guys that said, you know, hey, we could do this, you know, and they're like, nope, we want even more. And you're never going to get them guys on the same page until somebody else is in power. That's when they'll say, yes, we're going to do it because, you know, they don't have to worry about actually doing it.
Yeah. It's
that's why I'm voting for Rob next year.
Yeah.
For whatever, I don't know. But I'm going to vote for Rob.
Oh man,
Salad inspector.
Rob's going to be a righty.
They'd have me accidentally dead with 3 shots to the back of the head while tied up within 24 hours.
You know.
Accidental suicide.
Oh yeah, I mean Nighthawk Medic. He's right. Yep. He said you can't get a pro-gun law passed when Republicans are in office, and you can't stop trying to fight for your rights when Democrats are in office. What's the difference? You're right. There is no difference. You know, nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. You know, even when everybody said, you know, like now. When Trump got in there, we had the House, we had the Senate, we had the White House, and everybody said everything should be done. But so-called Republicans weren't on his side because he was pissing them off because he was trying to get the swamp changed, and they don't want it. They want it kept the same as it is. You know, there's a few good ones. I like what's her name, that congresswoman from Colorado. I think she's doing a hell of a job. And there's a couple in there, but either they're gonna start towing the Washington line, or they ain't gonna get reelected. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. And unfortunately, a lot of them sort of like, if we can't beat them, join them. And power corrupts. Money corrupts. You know, that's all. You know,
they don't work for the people anymore.
No, they don't.
They work for the party.
Yeah. And Biden even said it. We, the people, are us, the government. And nobody said a damn thing about it when he came out with that. What was it, a few months ago? We, the people. And he goes, we, the people, are us, the government. And he actually stood at the White House and said it. And not one fucking person said, do what? You know?
A few said it, but that was only one day, a brief moment in time. Yeah. He's not held to it.
No. And that's the problem. You know, even I knew it was going to happen, but even this fucking attorney general we got, you know, what's his name? Garland, right? He stood there when he got sworn in. I am not going to be political. You see what he said today? You know, that all these states changing the voting laws is wrong, and he's trying to find ways to make sure it doesn't happen. Now, isn't that's damn political, if you ask me?
Yeah, I just think to circle back on your comment about what he said, we the people means. You know, I think if George Washington would have heard that man say that, he would have gathered up 5,000 to 10,000 hungry, unfed, unpaid, no shoes wearing soldiers and went out there and kicked that Biden's ass. Mm-hmm. But we sit at home, you know, that's great Americans in the 21st century. We get irritated with tyranny instead of fighting tyranny.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, Rob said it's got to get worse or whatever. Unfortunately, we're going to wake up one morning and it's going to be too late because it's already happened.
Oh, absolutely. They worry about, we say, well, this country's going communism or we're going socialism or America's doomed and it's dead. It kind of really is, because if it's American, we're going to find a way to do it better than anybody else. So we'll find a way to do communism better than anyway else. And they're doing a wonderful job so far. Sooner or later, they'll take over complete control. All your constitution will be gone. That'll be racist words, and they'll have complete control, and they'd never fired a shot. One of the largest land masses of country on the globe, the symbol of freedom and the foundation of freedom is country. It'll all be lost, and they won't even have to fire one shot to take it.
Yeah. I just read the internal chat. That's very interesting. That's what I'm talking about.
I wonder how expensive it would be to rent or lease a couple of those big cruise liners. I mean, it can't be that much, because I think there's people in three countries right now that know what that liberty is supposed to be here, and I think we should go over and pick them all up and then drop them off in Mexico, have them just cross the border, and then would be set, because we'd actually have people that actually are active and want to do something about liberty and freedom. Maybe they could kick some people's in the.
As soon as they found out that there were 3 cruise ships sailing over to Mexico to drop people off to cross the border. Right?
Come on.
And the government finds out, and Biden finds out, he's going to realize they're not going to vote Democrat, so he's going to change the rules of the border. So it sucks. Did you read the internal chat there, Jason? I don't know. Just the internal chat.
Yeah. I was trying to type into it. There is a service out there. I know IV88 advertises them, and some other people. There is a service out there that will do it for you because of people banning the banks banning the business with the credit cards and such. There is a service out there that is gun friendly.
Isn't it Wells Fargo that's gun friendly?
I'm not sure. This is a new service that kind of like sprouted up to take care of the people that have been blocked or kicked out or whatever before it. I'm real quick. I'm trying to find the name of it.
Yeah, but it's so we could beat this to death. Is that luckily I live in a part of this country or the state here that they believe in freedom, liberty, do your own thing, just leave us alone, right? And everyday life goes on here like nothing happened. But we see, but hell, we see the news, but we don't know. But unfortunately, according to Vice President Harris, we don't even know what an Office Max is and a photocopier. Then I thought he was dead. That sports commentator, Bob Costas, or whatever his name is, said Trump supporters live in a delusional reality. So I've been called a deplorable. Now I live in a delusional reality. I'm stupid. I don't know how to use a photocopy to copy my ID if I needed it. Oh man! And they want unity.
Who's got to copy their IDs anyway? What the hell is that all about?
Well,
I mean, what, for mail in or something?
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for mail
I
in.
mean, shit, I could print out just as many.
what I'm saying is, if you ask
Ridiculous.
for an absentee ballot, you got to prove who you are, right?
Yeah.
I've never done an absentee ballot, so I don't know. But I'm assuming you got to prove who you are. So how do you do that? Send them a copy of something to say who you are. I don't know. I've never done one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if it's so racist to show an ID, how come I have to show an ID when I go to a gun store?
I know.
I'd say the great majority of Americans don't pay attention day to day what the hell's going on for the country. I used to work with many people that they would, it doesn't matter, I ain't gonna vote, doesn't make a difference, blah blah blah. Yeah, or they vote just how their reps tell them to. But I'm sure there's big swaths that they catch it, little bits here and there, but they're working their daily life and doing their daily thing. But it's like even the Second Amendment stuff, when you're right up on a wall, that wall looks enormous, but if you don't pay attention to it and you're off daydreaming somewhere else, it's just a little wall far away. They don't pay attention to it.
Yeah. So you're right. Sorry, I was reading the internal chat there.
So Rob for salad czar, huh?
Yeah. That's what I'm having tonight, by the way, guys. I'm having salad, and I'm gonna. And I got some.
There you go.
I got some more ham, and I'm gonna dice it up and put in my salad. Then I'm more than likely use vinegar as my dressing because I run out of everything else. Salt and pepper and some vinegar on it. So it'll be lettuce, onion, tomatoes, ham in there. That's close enough to a salad to me. So that's what I'm having. I hope it keeps me full. Problem is when I eat a salad, I'm still hungry when I finish. That's the problem I have.
There's some chicken on that salad or something.
The reason you're probably using a big fork, you got to use that little tiny salad fork. That'll probably make you fuller.
Oh, okay.
Right. Ask Rob about the size of the forks. Yeah. I think he's probably more tied in with the salad forks.
Drink more.
I got an email from Kingpin the other day telling me he just heard or saw a article that they are making macaroni and cheese ice cream. God, and as I said to him, even thinking about it, I said, "It's just thinking about it's making me heave." God. I know I'm un-American, but I don't give a shit.
Man, you see how far down the lunacy hole we are going, man.
Yes.
You have of all the things you can't leave ice cream alone, man. Just leave it alone.
I know, making it mac and cheese ice cream. God, oh my!
I mean, throwing candy bars in with ice cream.
Supporter, 100% of the real mac and cheese. Baked. You can't beat that. That stuff is primo. But ice cream, come on, that's a hell of a reach.
Yeah, but hey, that's what he told me. Kingpin told me. He sent me an email letting me know.
Next thing you know, they'll have macaroni and cheese that tastes like ice cream.
Yeah. But anyway, if anybody's interested, try to get off there. Is anybody who's watching the screen and sees my AR suspended on the wall there, that is a display that comes from randldisplays.com. It comes with the wall mount, which mine's sitting on, or it comes with the table display, and that's the one that's sitting on top of my toolbox there behind me. And for the coupon code, type in Rick's Life, and you will get a 15% discount. So just letting you guys know. I think it looks cool there. It looks like it's just suspended in space right there on the wall. So I think you if you want one, go to rnldisplays.com and get 15% off. Type in Rick's Life, and R&L Rob will set you straight. So there you go. Anyway, moving on, getting away from mac and cheese, ice cream, and salads and everything else. That's what. But back to my second topic, or my second headline was, I know it's going to be overturned, and it will hopefully go to the Supreme Court, and hopefully they will pick it up. But there's no guarantee. You see, the Fourth Circuit said keeping 18, 19, 20-year-olds from buying a handgun is unconstitutional, and they struck the law down in the 4th District. So
It is unconstitutional.
Well, we know that, but it's been a law since 1968.
An unconstitutional law.
Yes, but it's been there, and somebody finally got it. A court to look at it, and they said it's unconstitutional. Now, I'm imagining somebody in the prosecution from the Fourth Circuit is going to file an appeal, and I wouldn't be surprised they ask for a stay on it to keep it in place while it goes next, because it's going to go to an en banc, whatever they call it, there in the Fourth Circuit, and it's going to be overturned because the Fourth Circuit is more, what is it? Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland. I'm trying to think who else it is. Is it Tennessee? In that little area, that's where the Fourth Circuit's at. And I think you'll find it's the Fourth Circuit court is left leaning, the majority. So it's going to get overturned. Then if it gets overturned, then of course the 19-year-old who filed the complaint is going to say, let's take it further. Then it goes to the Supreme Court. Now, whether the Supreme Court picks it up or not, that is another thing. I said this before. I was lied to in school because they told me I can take, if I have some grievance, I can take it all the way to the Supreme Court. But they never told me the Supreme Court doesn't have to listen to it.
Misinformation, right? See how dangerous it is?
Yes, it is. I was misinformed when I was a kid.
Yeah. I think that the court case, though, isn't it the legal technical thing about it? That court case may revolve around the firearm purchase, but I believe the question before the court is there an age when you get your constitutional rights? And if you do, how come all of them aren't at the same age? Because that law right there is the only one that restricts your rights past the age of 18. So I think the legal argument is it legal for Congress to change the date on which you have your constitutional rights? So, I mean, it could very well easily go to the Supreme Court, I think.
Yeah, but would the Supreme Court...
If they go by the Constitution, then, they're sworn to go by the Constitution.
Okay, here you go.
I hope they do it, but
the Fourth Circuit is Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. So
Yeah,
right now in those states, it's legal for an 18-year-old to buy a handgun. So. But that's going to be overturned and put a stay put on it. I don't know if a stay hasn't been. I mean, how long is it? The judge puts out that ruling? Does it go in effect immediately, or is there a time limit? Before it can go into effect.
I don't know, but I'm not sure. It'll be a stay on it because there's a current law. They'll keep the current law going until they figure something else out.
Yeah, because they can't have 18-year-olds in those states buying guns and nobody else can. But
it's a funny one though, because they're going to say, well, you can still buy a rifle at 18. Okay. So then you're going to get into the argument of, does the government decide which firearm I can have? You know what I mean? Do they decide what's well armed, well able?
Because the FBI is updating their NICS system. Now, if you come from how old do you have to be to buy a rifle in Ohio?
18.
All right, but if you go to say New York, I think it's 21, isn't it, Rob? There's states where you have to be 21 to buy it. Florida, you have to be. Florida, you have to be 21 to buy any gun.
21 for any gun.
Florida is 21 for any gun, long gun or handgun. Ever since the Columbine, or not the Columbine, shooting in the school there, that what's his name claimed to be there, but he cycled there on his bike. Right. What they're saying now is, right now, if your home state is Florida, and you go to Ohio and said, I want to buy an AR-15, you fill out your form, they sell you one. You pass the NICS check, you got yourself an AR-15. Now what they're going to do is, if your home of record is Florida, they're going to cross-check your state with the state you're in to see if they match on the age for a long gun. So if Florida's 21 and Ohio is 18, you're going to be denied.
I'm surprised they already don't do that.
I'm just saying that's what I was hearing the other day.
Now I could be wrong on this. Maybe it's a chat, or maybe you guys know. Fill me in. But I owned several pistols before I was 21 years old.
Did you buy them in the gun store, or did you buy them privately?
Bought them privately. Traded motorcycle for one. So yeah, like, it's legal to have a handgun. It's just that you can't buy it brand new through a FFL, or used. You can't buy it from an FFL store. But the private sales is 100% legal here. Always has been.
Yeah, but they're trying to change that too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. But so like a 19-year-old can get their hands on a handgun if they want one. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to mean they have bad intentions with it. You know what I mean? And they're not breaking the law to have it. So why are you restricting? The only law being broken here is by the government when they say 21 can't have it.
That's what I'm saying. The government is not our friend. The government has been doing bad to people since yonks. They've always done. The government has got way too big, way too powerful. And it's become them and us type thing. Nighthawk Medic, 19-year-olds get handguns every day in Detroit and Chicago. Oh yeah. I mean, whatever laws they try to pass, we're just preaching to the choir. All it's doing is hurting the law-abiding. The criminal is going to get his gun, whether he steals it, somebody does a straw purchase for him. But, you can go. I don't know if I could do it here now. It might take me a bit longer because I live out in the middle of nowhere. But I know as little as I knew about guns, and I still know very little about guns. But when I was living in Rhode Island, I know I could have gone down. I could have taken the 45-minute drive to Providence, Rhode Island, and if I was so inclined, I could have bought a gun out of the back of out of a trunk very easily. You know what I'm saying?
You know why they put the limit at 21, right? Because some 18-year-olds are still in high school in some places, and they don't want, that's, with smoking and drinking, can't have, nobody under 18 can do that stuff. So that's never going to happen.
Yeah, but if you, as they said,
it didn't come out right. Sorry.
As they said, if you say 18, you're an adult, you can vote and all this, you should be able to. You can't say, but you can't have your Second Amendment right until you're 21. That's what the judges said in that court case. It's the same thing. I think if you can vote at 18, you should be able to drink at 18. You should be able to buy cigarettes at 18 without showing a fucking ID. You know what I'm saying? I just it's just totally fucked up. But cigarettes,
pull a trigger in defense of the country.
Booze,
you shouldn't be able to buy a beer or anything else.
Yeah, but then again, cigarettes and booze, right, are not rights.
Yes.
They're not in the Constitution. They're money makers for the government. But because of the taxes they take on them. But firearms, bearing arms, you cannot. If you're saying it's 21, then you got to move the voting age to 21. Because the government says 18, you're an adult. You can't have but you can't have your Second Amendment till you're 21. That we all know that's unconstitutional. Always has been. Somebody's finally fucking got managed to get it through the court. I don't know if anybody's tried before, but somebody finally did it, and finally got judges to listen to it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm glad they got to where they got it. Let's be realistic. They might not settle this for 5 years, but it's good to know where they got it where it's so far. And we should support them and whoever, if they need it or whatever. We should make our voice. We should use our YouTube channels, our voice, our polls, and just let it know that we support the changing of that unconstitutional law. You know what I mean? Because I like how the one judge put it, that law was created anyways by Congress manipulating data, misleading results, and lying to us and everything just to get it passed at the time.
Hey, and has anything changed? No, they're still lying to us. Oh, well, yeah.
I think I hate to change it too much here to subject whatever, but I've been mad about the COVID money. Now that the other week they were all talking about, the police got defunded. Let's go ahead and divert COVID money to the police then.
Yeah, I know.
No, wait a minute. That COVID money, that's not what you voted for us in Congress. You didn't put that bill out there and say, we're going to use this money for, other things. You know what I mean? Because in the long run, they're going to make all of us pay that back.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So why do I in Ohio have to pay back a portion because they gave the money to the police department in Chicago and San Francisco? Let Chicago and San Francisco pay for their own police department.
Yeah, problem is California. I don't know how in the hell they're giving everybody a stimulus check. That country is bankrupt. That state is bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? But hell, they just borrowing more money. They're getting the federal government. They're using the stimulus money, the COVID money, to give out those stimulus checks. That's what they're doing. They're using federal money to give out state checks. So there you go. Anyway, real quick, I want you guys to come up, start talking about something, guys, because I've got to go to the bathroom before I wet myself. You know, I know you wouldn't be able to see it. It might be nice and warm for a couple of minutes, but then it get cold and uncomfortable. So talk amongst yourself for 2 seconds. It doesn't take me long to go. As you get older, your bladder gets smaller, I think. So, all right, you're not going to touch it, so start talking, guys.
Uh-oh. You better mute up.
Take the moment here and let everybody know, anybody that is interested in the display kits, if you order one soon, I'm throwing in an extra magazine. So, especially for the black ones. I got a few extras, I think, for gun stock, the M&P, but not many. I'm not sure. Definitely have still some for the black AR. If anybody's interested, they were basically first or second run mags. They're a little sloppy on the base, but they work fine for the wall mounts. I was going to trash them, but figured so many people have asked for a second one for the wall that I thought, I'd just throw them out there as a free thing. So basically, so if anybody wants, jump on it while supplies last. Obviously, there's some codes out there. But if you're interested in kind of paying for one and getting two, in a sense, or, well, it's a one modular and ending up with two complete, I guess, now's the time. And gun stock models are available as well. They should have been updated in the stock, but weren't apparently, and I've been sitting on a bunch for 2 weeks maybe now. I don't know. So somebody was holding out for that. I believe talked to a couple weeks ago. If you're still out there holding out for it, they are available. My apologies.
Okay.
And that's, you said gun stock. No, that's just a
right, gun stock stain.
Oh.
It's a mid-wax finish, so it basically mimics gun stock. Looks, I don't know, kind of like the foregrips and stuff on some older shotguns, things like that. Obviously, anybody has any questions, just check out the website. You can see it. Received several compliments on the gun stock one. Apparently, people like that one a lot. So I assume the black would be more popular because it kind of matches the firearms, most firearms, I should state. But from what I hear, a lot of people like the wood. So obviously, for images, go check out the site if you'd like. It's rnldisplays.com.
Okay, am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
No.
We hear you.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was muted or not. All right.
Get everything handled.
Yeah, I took care of it all for right now. Normally I go before I start the show, but I didn't today. That's where the problem was. See, but normally I can last. But anyway, real quick, I want to do my quiz from 2 weeks ago. And my question was, I gave you one clue, or I gave you two. It was in the Second World War, and it was Operation Chastise. And it was actually, they even made a film of it called The Dam Busters. It was in 1943. And I wanted to know what squadron it was. It was the 600. It was 617 squadron. It was a bouncing bomb that was invented by Barnes Wallis, big hero in England because he was a British guy. where they used the bouncing bomb to smash some dams. Where was it, up in Denmark or one of those countries up there? It all happened at. So that was the question. That's what I was looking for. Was it was the bus dams using the bouncing bomb and the 617 squadron. That's what I was looking for, and we did have entries. And that was, and actually, this is this the one. Let's have a look. Is this the one? Yeah, this is a good swag pack. It's got quite a lot in it. Actually, this one has. So let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6 or 7 in this. So let me hit my draw now button and see who it is. G23. G23 is the winner. I think he won last time he entered.
Congrats, G.
Yeah. I don't know if he's in the room here or not. I ain't seen him. But G23 is the winner. So,
does that swag pack have a Glock sticker in it?
More than likely.
Yeah. Tight.
Oh, he's in for a real
Duct
treat.
tape, super glue.
Yeah. Well, all right. Now, for 2 weeks' time, for the 31st of July, got another swag pack here with stickers and patches, and this one has even got the whatchamacallit patch in it. The I think he done it for a special thing. The Clovertech, the Fud Life rifle patch. That's in this one. So, and this one, a subscriber sent this in, so that subscriber knows who he is, and so he can't enter because he knows the answer. What I want, and it's not that hard, this one, but since subscribers, I've asked subscribers to send them in, and he did, so I'm going to use it. So, for the quiz, mail-in quiz, for the next swag pack I'm giving away, is I want the date. You know, the date with not only the month, but I want the year. The date of the last U.S. cavalry versus Indian battle. There you go. The date of the last U.S. cavalry versus Indian battle. So there you go. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it into me by noon on the 31st of July. That's noon Eastern time, the only time zone that matters to be in for that swag pack. Yeah. And actually for a couple of swag packs further on, I forgot, and I found them today. I've got two baseball caps to give away. I think one has 38 special on it, and I can't remember what the other one has on it, but they're brand new, never worn. So they were sent to me to give away, and I put them somewhere, and I forgot about them, and I happened to, because I changed my room around, I moved them, and I happened to find it. Today I was looking for something else, and I came across them and go, oh, shit, that's where I put them. So I'm going to be giving those away on the next couple of ones. I just thought I'd throw that out. Everybody was interested. But there you go. Okay, back to the conversation.
I like that trivia question. That's a pretty good question. I like that, man. Kind of keep history alive. I mean, none of us really think about things that happened that long ago. So yeah. I like that. That's an interesting question. I like that.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I can keep going for a little while, even though it is the cat's dinner time there. They I ran out of treats again the other day. So I went down the store. The local Family Dollar. Oh, man, that store is looking pitiful. They can't get groceries for some reason. And it's not that their warehouse doesn't have them. Family Dollar don't have any drivers to deliver it. The groceries is where their problem is. But anyway, I went down there. They didn't have the usual ones I get. They had these $1. Could have been a dollar store. They had these $1 Meow Mix treats. So I grabbed, a couple of those.
Oh no!
Brought them home, and those cats love them. I've been buying the expensive shit, and these dollar packets. These cats are going absolutely crazy on them. That's why they're not too fussing me right now, because I ate some treats earlier on. I gave them some treats before I started the show, and they were absolutely loving them.
You know what? I bet them cats would love macaroni and cheese, and it's cheap.
They like cheese. When if I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich or something like that, or a cheese and pickle sandwich, yeah, that's what I normally give my cats, those treats. They're the expensive ones.
You got to get the small bags so they don't get all stale.
Well, see, the problem is when I give my cats treats, right? It's not just one or two. I give them a handful, right?
No.
Hey, let me finish. Have you only ever eaten just one or two M&Ms? You eat those by the handful, so why can't they have their treats by the handful?
It's not the same. It's different, and they're a lot smaller too. So you got to account for that. So,
so anyway,
animal kids, the same thing. You don't want to starve them, but you don't want to overfeed them either. A lot of bad health habits come from that. So it is abuse.
Man, I got my one type of dog treats here right handed. I give my dog all the time. Purina Alpo T-Bones steak-shaped dog treats, ribeye flavored. He gets these little Fred Flintstone little steak-looking things all the time, man, and I always throw down 2, 3, 4, man. He eats them, looks up at you, lets you know he's all happy, says thanks.
Oh, yeah. My cats look at me all happy when they're finished.
Oh, I forgot to mention my 60-pound dog is only supposed to weigh like 26, 27 pounds.
Hey, when I pick up the bag of treats, right? Like if I'm in the living room and I got them in my hand, and I sort of I'm opening the bag, and the cats are asleep in the bedroom. They come flying around that corner, and I got wooden floors. They go sliding on the floor around the corner to come up to where I'm at. They can hear me touching that bag from a mile away. Oh, they eat better than I do, really. So anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I'm still looking for my homestead, and the more I think about it, the more I'm going to do it. It's just finding the right place. I mean, the cost of you got a rabbit loose in the house, they shit everywhere.
Yeah. Kids are.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm still looking for the property. I'm willing to move, within 20 miles of where I am now. Like in a circle. I don't want to move too far. The reason I moved here was to be near family. Why don't I want to move away again? You know what I'm saying? So I'm still looking at it, and the more I went shopping the other day, and my grocery bill went up. Oh, I bought this because I have me a basic shopping list. Oops, excuse me. That has the same items. I eat the same. I mean, I'm not difficult to feed. I can eat the same thing, So when I go shopping, I normally always buy the same things all the time, every month. and my bill went up by at least $25.
Yeah, stuff's at crazy high around here too.
You know what I'm saying?
$100 from the grocery store. You come home with like 2 little plastic bags of stuff and a couple cans of pop. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's and a lot of times I'll buy the Walmart brand because it's cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And not buying the name brand. You know, trying to save money. I mean, yes, I know I should have done better when I was younger and foreseen all this, but I was going to do all that the last 10 years of my working life. I was going to jam as much money away as I possibly could. And I had started to about 2 months before I started, about 2 months before I had my accident. So, I mean, that blew my plan away. Then I was, hey, but everybody knows the story. But anyway, since my disability is only X amount of dollars, so I just need to look into that. And I've had a couple of friends of mine who I hang out down at the diners. They're all old boys around my age. A couple of them said, "Oh, we'll help you. If you ever need help, So, and I'm sure family will help me get it all set up. So, it ain't going to be difficult what I'm looking to do. I just got to find me something to keep chickens in. I'm going to let them free range, just lock them up at night. And just need something to keep some pigs in, something with a cover on, and put something in there that has a cover on it so they can go under to keep out of the rain. Might have to put sides on it if I have them over the wintertime so they can keep warm. I have to get some straw hay to throw in there, but that's about it, really. I don't plan on doing anything, and I don't plan on doing this all that from day one. It's going to take me time to get to do it. But hell, I feel, let's see, what am I, 64 now? I don't feel 64. My body tells me I am. I know that much. But I figured I reckon I got at least a good 15 or 20 years left in me. So I'm going for it. I just got to find the right place. Hey, it might never happen, but I'm looking and I'm writing notes down and I'm looking at pricing and stuff for certain things. I'm learning how to do certain things. Amazing what you can learn on YouTube. Fascinating.
You've had me looking around too, Rick. I look for property out in the country all the time now.
Oh, I tell you. And
I see. It's not like every road, but I've seen lots of places here that have, like a property for sale or a sign out front for so many acres for sale when it's just nothing there at the moment. Fields or farm fields or woods, but I know one whole farmer, he must be wanting to get out of farming. He is like divided up a whole great big field and put out about 10 lots out there that people built new houses on. But I see lots for sale all the time. Actually, they don't list a price, you know what I mean? But
yeah, oh yeah, they're out there, and you've got to find them. Sometimes they're listed, but normally I'm looking for owner financing. I want, like if it's a farmer and he'll sell me a few acres and he I pay him so much a month, just like you pay rent until it's paid off. But i.e. here, if you find somewhere that has the average price in this part of Southern Indiana I'm at, if you can find a property that has like a septic on it, water and electric, it's going roughly for $8,000 an acre. That's the average price here.
I'll tell you this. These prices don't really exist anymore. But in the 90s, I had two friends down in what I call Southern Ohio. It's real close to West Virginia. So the land down there is about like West Virginia. Yeah. We have hills and mountains and, well, there basically ain't no valleys. It's all damn hills. But the jobs are non-existent there. Okay, you just tell you that the whole county is like one of our poorest counties. There's no factories, there's no jobs. Okay, but there's land, and it's not perfect land. It's hills and trees and whatnot. But a friend of mine was down there, and he's on welfare. Okay, that's his only source of income, welfare. He bought 40 acres of land with a house trailer that had a foundation built extension on it, which now labels it as a permanent home or whatever. So he bought a place to live with about 2 or 3 acres of cleared land, and the rest of that 40 was all woods. And he's a hunter, was all woods. He bought all 40 acres for like $2,000.
Oh, I can believe it.
And he got the loan on welfare, and I swear to God, like his mortgage payment was stupid, like $25 a month.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And his brother-in-law, his brother-in-law moved over one neighbor. There's some Amish people between the land, and then he bought the adjacent land on the other side, and he was on welfare also. He got the same deal, a trailer that was considered permanent. He got 86 acres over there, and I bet 30 or 40 of it is cleared land, like you could graze cattle on it if you wanted, and the rest is woods that go downhill to a creek, and then he owns halfway up the hill on the other side. He got all those 86 acres with all that land over there for like $4,000 or like $4,500.
Yeah. I said probably. I don't know if it's that cheap now, but there's. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is, so if y'all can get a farmer to hold the title, right? I mean, let's say I pay what? How much is my rent? It's over $500, so I'm paying almost that in a year. So what? So what? Paying $6,000, almost $8,000 a year in rent anyway, aren't I? Yeah.
How much a month?
Well, I mean, my rent here is $550.
Okay, so you're over 6,000.
Yeah.
You're 7,000 a year.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can buy land for that. So I would only have to pay that amount for 2 years, then it's mine. You know what I'm saying? Then that money can go to doing more on the homestead. If I can just do enough to get by, i.e., make small, like something for chickens and a small thing for a hog or something to get me by for a couple of years, I'm good. Then after that, I can after I've paid for it, I can start doing improvements. Because I'm thinking of just feeding myself. I'm not thinking of doing it right now to, make money off of it. I'm just thinking of being self-sufficient to a certain degree. You got
any Amish farmers around there?
Yes. There's quite a few, actually, believe it or not, this part of Indiana.
But talk to them guys. They know where land's at.
Yeah.
Really land that people are going to want to sell like on their own private contract, you know what I mean? Or whatever, cash deals, or hell, they'll know. They'll have the inside scoop, you know what I mean?
Yep.
One of them might sell you an acre too. They probably got some land that they can't use or not using, or got too many tree stumps in it or something, and sell it off to you for cash under the table. They all for that, trust me.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you can find a piece of land that maybe have, say an acre or 2 acres, and say I find 2 acres of land and an acre of it is woods, right? I mean, you think about it. I mean, even on a normal, when it's not crazy, you could go in there and say, find here. There's a mill down the road here in Birdseye, Indiana. He's looking for trees, right? And he doesn't. He said looking for trees, and no amount too small type deal. So if you only got 4 or 5 trees you want to get rid of, to make some cash, to get some money to do some more improvements, hell, there you go. Get them to come in, log them, pay you cash for them, then you can go buy some more stuff to improve your land. You know, that's what I was thinking of. So, or am I being, or you think, or am I being unrealistic?
No, man, you just gotta go out and look and talk to people. I'm saying you might find somebody that owns. You're looking for an acre, and they got like 100 acres. They might not want to sell or do anything like that, but they might not have no problem like renting it to you or leasing it to you. You know what I mean? You just want to do a little bit of
into at least two
farming. Yeah,
I would look into at least two. Long as they would let me do most anything I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have a ton of restrictions on me. Well, we don't want you to do this. We don't want you to have hogs because they root up the ground type thing. You know what I'm saying?
So, I'm telling you, go talk to some Amish people.
Yeah.
And see how get friendly with them. Hell, you might get set up with some land, and hell, they'll sell you the chickens and the hogs. And hell, their kids will come down there and teach you how to raise the pigs and the hogs, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, I tell you what, but homesteading, I didn't realize since the last year or two, even people who live in town, right, are like doing more garden food and stuff, and maybe they're allowed to raise chickens in their backyard. Homesteaded thing is a craze that's going wild right now. And you can find all kinds of shit on YouTube on homesteading, from people who have been doing it for, years and years to new people doing it, and they're filming how they're going along as they're started, So it's amazing what you can find. So there we go. See, I mean, here where I'm at, I'm not allowed to do anything. They'll let me, I could plant a few vegetables underneath my windowsill up by the kitchen. You're allowed to do that, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I can't sort of like put a chicken coop out in the backyard, that type of thing. So anyway.
Can you grow, do they got dope in Indiana? Is that a state where you can grow dope?
Well, medical marijuana is legal.
Well, see, there, all you got to do. Get you some chickens, some pigs, and grow some dope. And then you can take the dope money and go buy groceries.
Yeah.
Don't forget about security.
That is the American way, right there.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Oh, did I tell you my friend built a shooting bench for me?
He said he was going to.
He's done it. He's done it already. I stopped by his house the other morning, and he said, "Oh, look here." He said, "Look what I've done. It's a shooting bench. It's not top notch, that something you would buy in the store, but it ain't bad. But it's to stay there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to throw it in the back of my truck and bring it home type thing. He built it to use it on his place there. Not only that, it's built and everything where I can sit inside his garage because he has a back door as well as the front doors. He has a back door there, and where he's got it situated, he's set it up. Now we've got 100-yard range.
Nice.
From there, you can go out. Now, must admit, because his properties, like you were talking about, hills and valleys, it's hilly. So, it might only. There's a big swell there. So, that bullet might only be about 6 inches off the ground on one of the hills that goes past before it hits the target. That's still 50 yards away. You know what I'm saying? But it's a clear shot. So.
Nice. 100 yards is out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
People like, say not 100 yards. Look at that 100 yards down your iron sights.
Okay, now that's the
You'll
thing.
see how far it is.
I need a scope for the AR. What I'm going to have to do is put the red dot sort of like on the side and the scope on top.
I'm looking to get a scope too for AR.
And I don't need one of those goddamn things that a couple of $1,000. I don't even need a scope that's even half the price I paid for that. Cheap. I don't mean dirt. I don't mean a $20 scope. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need an expensive one. Really. I'm debating whether to. I mean, I got a scope on my 22. You know, could I take it off and put it on the AR? Then when I need it on the 22, put it back.
I don't know. The AR is going to take a scope mount that rises up in the air. You have to clear your charging handle in the back. Okay, so it's kind of like they call it a cantilever mount. It's up higher than just like scope rings are on like a 22. You just need some scope mount that will hook to the rail on top of the gun, and then it would be the size of the tube of the scope you're using. You know how big it is? Was it like a 3x9 or something?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you could probably work, and I'm sure it would hold up, but you're going to pay a little bit for the mount. It's not just going to swap off of the 22 and go on top of that one. You're going to need an AR mount, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm with you. I know what you mean. All right.
The scope will be okay, but the attachment, the mounts and the rings from the 22 is not going to swap over. The 22 is going to be low to the top of the receiver like normal, but the AR has to be up in the air. Like I said, you have to get to that charging handle underneath the rear of the scope and have room to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And like the AR is funny. Like if put your scope in the right spot or you're up there, your nose is probably going to be touching the back of that charging handle. So it's not like the same cheek weld that you get on like a wooden stock 22 or something. So that scope has to be up higher than like your normal hunting rifle or whatever.
All right, hang on a minute. Patriot just put his hand up, wants to speak. Yes.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just playing around.
Oh, because you hit the button that said token blind guy wants to speak.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I cut Jason off.
I'm sorry.
Give you an opportunity.
Raise your hands in the air like you just don't care.
You know?
So. I got something quick.
Yeah.
You know how I had brought up on your chat there, Jason, about getting that Para Ordnance P14 45 limited. I picked it up.
Oh, bless your heart, son. Congratulations.
It's a beaut, but it's got the whole grips on it. You know, the rubber wrap around with the finger grooves. And it's nice. It fits perfect in my hand like that. But they are a little bit bigger than, normal. But I did look Wicked Grips, which I didn't realize he's here local in my area, I think, supposedly. But they make some, and what's that other one? VZ makes a pair. So I got to figure out what I want. But it is stainless too. It's pretty.
Oh, nice. I use VZ grips on a lot of my stuff. I like them, but I do know that Wicked Grips, boy, they have some pretty cool looking stuff. When you were talking about that pistol, I pulled up some pictures on the show of it, and one of them had a set of Wicked Grips that had like a skull face or something in them. Man, that looked awesome.
Yeah,
but I know Wicked Grips usually run, $100 and up. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I see they had a couple for it, but some of them were, out of stock or whatever, because he only does like a limited run. But
Yeah,
they got
so-
like the We the People and 1776, and they got some pretty cool ones, I guess.
Yeah, they got some, but they're mostly slick sided too. You know what I mean? There's no texture, so
Yeah.
like they're just for the looks. If they have like a picture or something on them, image to look at, they're a smooth sided
They're
grip.
just inset or something. Huh?
Yeah, they don't have any texture on them like G10 grips would have or something.
All right.
Hmm.
I was kind of leaning towards the aluminum, maybe black anodized something. This is stainless. This is my first stainless pistol, so. But it came with 4 pair of ordnance mags too, so I was quite happy with it so far.
All right, sounds good to me. Hey, I'm gonna wind this up because the cats are stirring now. So that means they're getting hungry. It's past dinner time. Plus, I'm thinking what I can have with my salad because I'm getting hungry too. So, all right. So let's go around the room here and do the shout outs and plugs. New York Outcast, you got anything?
Nope. Just thanks for having me. Have a great day, everybody.
Appreciate you being here. Jason, you got anything?
Good to talk to you all again. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for the invite, and glad you were able to do a show today.
Oh, yes. I got everything figured out, all worked out. I don't know. Anybody heard that? Turned out my computer updated the driver and it didn't agree with it. So it took me a while to figure it out because Microsoft had done an automatic upload too. So I wasn't sure if it was that or I finally figured it, got it down to the driver, took it out, and it all worked back to like it was before. So there we go. I got Jason right. So we're down to Patriot. Anything?
You better make sure that wasn't from the NSA. Just saying. No, thanks for having me. I'm glad you're back. It was a really long show that Jason had Wednesday, which was really good.
Sorry about that.
Glad to be back on. Oh no!
Are you trying to tell me that I should let Jason take over Wednesdays? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No. He's got his own show.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'll be back on this coming Wednesday. Also, if anybody's got any topics they want to discuss on Shooting with Disabilities or this Saturday show, just email me at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com and I will use them. Also, if you want a great AR display, like that one behind me on the wall there, from randldisplays.com, and use Rick's Life in the discount code area, and you get 15% off. So there you go. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I know we're all busy on Saturday afternoons. It's goddamn hot here today. It's got to be up almost near 90 today and humid. It's goddamn sucks, really. I like it warm because the arthritis stays at bay most of the time. But there's a point when it gets too hot for me to be out there. But at least I got AC, so that helps. But if I go, but I was thinking about this too. I can have AC out on the homestead too. I might have to get myself a little generator to run it on for a few hours, but I can have it. So I can have internet and I can have satellite TV too out there. There's all kinds of possibilities. But then getting rid of some of that stuff might be good too. To just get back to the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Wearing my bib overalls and driving my pickup truck. What more can you ask out of life? And shooting guns. That's the main thing. I want to get my own shooting range too. I can just lean out my window and shoot at the targets. You know, I think that would be absolutely great.
I think we all want that.
You know, so all right, guys, I will see you all later. And I said I want to say thank you everybody that's stopping by, and I'll be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So I want to say good night, everybody.
Bye, Sabrina.
Put it on the card.